Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin and I have great news for you, all you yoga teachers, aspiring yoga teachers in training, and yoga teacher training programs. My new book is out. It's called How to Run a Successful Yoga Business and Not Go Broke. Lessons from a yoga teacher, entrepreneur, and modern hippie, and that would be me, not on the book cover. On the back book cover, that's me. You can see. I am so incredibly psyched and proud of this book. Let me give you a little bit of the backstory. I was at a writer's group, a writer's meeting that I go to through Meetup once every 2 weeks. And I was casually talking with two of the members, one who is the leader and the other one who's a member. And the one who's the leader was talking about watching this webinar course on a woman who was talking about the business of writing. And when he went to her Amazon page, he noticed that she was not at all a best-selling author, nor were her books selling actually very well at all. So he made the commentary of, hey, why would I buy a webinar program from a woman who's not even a well-known author or a best-selling author? It just doesn't make sense to me if she can talk about how to sell more books. And that's when I piped in and said, hey, that would be like me trying to write a book about running a yoga business or running a yoga studio since my yoga studio failed. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. There's an idea, because I did run a yoga studio for 7 years, and I did everything possible to try to keep that studio running, open, and successful. And so I learned all the tips and tricks, perhaps the wrong way through trial and error, but I did learn all the tips and tricks on how to run a successful yoga business. All of the work that I did and have been doing throughout the past 9 years, because in my story you'll learn that at the end of 2015, I made the decision to close my yoga studio and take my business home. So I now have a home studio, but I learned a lot through that process. Even though you have some business modules in your yoga teacher training program, and if you run a yoga teacher training program, I would highly recommend you considering this book for your yoga teachers in training, because I wish I had more of that business aspect while I was in yoga teacher training, because I wouldn't have made the number of mistakes that I made. I just didn't know anything about business. I had to learn literally by the seat of my pants. I made every mistake in the book. Spare no expense, really. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to save my business, and all of my mistakes, all of my lessons, all the tricks I learned on how to save money and how to make your yoga business better is all in this book. It's all in there. I wrote this book in 1 month and it was really cathartic for me because I really suffered toward the end. I suffered throughout, but it was more toward the end because opening my yoga business was really near and dear to my heart. I felt like I could make a difference in other people's lives, which I did. And I felt that I could really give back and make a difference in my community. And it really was hard for me to admit failure. It was hard to admit that what I was doing wasn't working. Even though I tried very hard to make it work, there were many things I did that were wrong from the get-go. And so the culmination of those wrong choices made it so that it came to a point of no return. And I don't want you ever to reach that point in your yoga business and your yoga practice while you're out there teaching, while you're trying to open a studio, run a studio. I would love for you to have those lessons prior to making the same mistakes that I did. And that's why this book was so easy to write. It was easy to write because I had you in mind. I thought about you through this whole process. And in the preface, which I'll read in another video, in the preface I talk about how it's me and you. It's me talking to you as a girlfriend, as a guy friend, we're sitting over coffee and I'm telling you about the last 9 years of my life, and I'm saying, look, if you're trying to get into the yoga business, if you are in the yoga business, or you're about to open a studio, or even if you're just at the beginning of opening that studio and you need some tricks to be able to make it successful, here's what I learned. And here's how you cannot lose hundreds of thousands of dollars like I did. And I really did. I didn't come into this endeavor poor. I came with money in the bank, and I spent a lot of money foolishly. I didn't know what I was doing. And I have an entire chapter dedicated to teaching you how to not spend too much money on things like marketing, which is really important in your business. I am really super excited. I hope you're just as excited as I am to read this book. It's a lot of fun. I tried to make it really lighthearted, very funny. And as I said, it's like I'm talking to you as if you're right here next to me. You're my friend. I'm giving you all the advice that a friend would give, really. And that's how I approached this work. That's how I approached this book. This book is really a little bit different than some of my other works. If you're familiar with The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda, an easy guide to a healthy lifestyle, I wrote that too on a very personal level. However, it's a little bit more serious. It's a little more researched. It had to be. It's a book on Ayurveda. My book on alcoholism, Help, I Think My Loved One is an Alcoholic, a survival guide for lovers, family, and friends. Again, that was a book designed and is a book designed to help someone who is struggling in a relationship with an alcoholic loved one. So it has a little bit more of a serious tone. It's not super lighthearted. And that's why for me, this book was so much fun to write, because it was really lighthearted. Business is a serious thing, but it can also be a fun thing if you know what you're doing and you have the right tools and you have the right advice to be able to move forward. And for me, yoga is fun. Yoga is great. I love teaching yoga. I love helping people. It is my sincere hope that you enjoy this book. Please leave comments, leave reviews. Now, I have something for you. The book now is out on paperback. Hopefully by the 12th, that's the message I'm getting. By the 12th of October 2017, it'll be out on Kindle. And I believe slightly before that, it'll be out on Audible, audiobooks. So if you are interested in getting an audio copy of my book, to leave a review. Now, I'll only do this for people who are sincere about listening to the audiobook and leaving reviews on Amazon for the book. Then I will send you a promo code for a free copy of the book, a free audio copy of the book. This is most pertinent, obviously, if you're a yoga teacher in training, or someone who is running a yoga teacher training program. But I will give you a free copy for the first 25 that ask. I have 25 promo codes to give to clients, to give to reviewers in order to leave reviews on Amazon for the book. So if you're interested, please email me at the email address below, which is michellefondinauthor@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to share this information with you. Again, how to run a successful yoga business and not go broke. Don't go broke like I did, people. Stay strong. Love your yoga practice, but be smart about it. I'll see you in the next video.